For decades, the royal family has been synonymous with tradition, duty, and an unshakable public image. But behind the gilded gates of Buckingham Palace, there have always been whispers, secrets that the world was never meant to uncover. Now, in a rare and unexpected move, Princess has broken her silence, revealing a side of her family's story that few could have imagined. She's opened up about her father, Prince Philip, and the shocking truth behind his decision to live apart from Queen Elizabeth during his final years. Was this a personal choice born out of independence? A hidden rift in their seemingly unbreakable bond? Or could it be something far more layered? Something rooted in the pressures and sacrifices of royal life? Her revelations don't just challenge the perfect image of a marriage that spanned over 7 decades. They also give us a glimpse into the human side of a monarchy that has always seemed untouchable. So, what really happened behind closed doors? What led the Duke of Edinburgh to step away from the Queen's side? And why do their children so fiercely defend this unusual decision? This untold story is one that will change the way you see the royal family forever. This expanded introduction adds layers of intrigue, emotion, and stakes while maintaining an engaging and conversational tone to immediately capture the viewer's attention. Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip's love story is the kind that legends are made of. Spanning over 7 decades, it remains one of the most enduring royal romances in history. Their journey began in 1934 at a royal wedding when Elizabeth was just a young girl. But it wasn't until 5 years later, during a visit to the Royal Naval College, that their connection truly blossomed. Elizabeth, only 13 at the time, was captivated by the dashing Philip, who charmed her with his wit, energy, and confidence. Over the years, their bond deepened through letters exchanged across distances, with Philip's adventurous spirit and straightforward nature perfectly complementing Elizabeth's quiet strength and sense of duty. Despite skepticism from some in the royal family, who questioned whether the exiled prince of Greece and Denmark was a suitable match, Elizabeth's mind was made up. She was determined to marry the man she loved. Their wedding in November 1947 was a beacon of hope for a post-war Britain, symbolizing unity and resilience. It was a grand celebration, watched by millions, and marked the beginning of a partnership that would define an era. But their marriage was never just about romance. It was a union forged in duty, shaped by the immense weight of the crown. Together, they faced the relentless scrutiny of the public eye, the shifting tides of history, and the demands of a life of service. Through it all, they remained each other's rock, with Philip famously describing himself as Elizabeth's strength and stay. Their partnership was built on mutual respect, shared purpose, and a deep understanding of the unique pressures they faced as a royal couple. But behind the fairy tale, their relationship was far from conventional. Philip, known for his independent and restless spirit, often struggled with the constraints of royal life. And in 2017, at the age of 96, he made a decision that shocked the world. He chose to step away from public duties and live apart from the Queen. It was a move that raised eyebrows and sparked countless questions. What could have driven such a choice after 70 years of standing by her side? Their love story, while extraordinary, was never without its complexities. And as we'll soon uncover, this decision was not just about Philip's independence. It was a reflection of the unique and unshakable bond they shared. This expanded section provides more depth and context to their love story, emphasizing their personal connection, the challenges they faced, and the significance of Philip's later decision, while setting up intrigue for the sections to follow. In 2017, at the remarkable age of 96, Prince Philip made headlines around the world when he announced his retirement from royal duties. After decades of unwavering service and over 22,000 solo public engagements, the Duke of Edinburgh stepped back from the spotlight and moved to Wood Farm, a modest and secluded cottage tucked away on the Sandringham estate. The decision was unprecedented. For over 70 years, Philip had been a constant presence by Queen Elizabeth's side, supporting her through every challenge and milestone of her reign. So why, in his final years, did he choose to live apart from her? The public was stunned, and the media wasted no time speculating. Rumors began to swirl. Was there trouble brewing in their seemingly unshakable marriage? Had Philip grown tired of the rigid protocols of royal life? Or was it simply a matter of health and comfort as he approached the twilight of his life? But those closest to the royal couple, including their daughter Princess Anne, have painted a very different picture. According to Anne, the truth behind Philip's decision was far more personal and far more complicated than the headline suggested. For Philip, Wood Farm represented something he had rarely experienced during his life as a royal: freedom. The small, quiet cottage offered him a chance to escape the formality and constant scrutiny of palace life. It was a place where he could live simply, without the pressures of public appearances or the rigid schedule that had defined his existence for decades. It was also a deeply practical decision. By stepping away from royal duties and living apart, Philip allowed the Queen to continue her work as monarch without distraction. He understood the demands of her role better than anyone and knew that his retirement would give her the space to focus entirely on her responsibilities. But this arrangement was not without its emotional weight. How could a couple who had been inseparable for so many years suddenly live apart? As Princess Anne would later reveal, the decision was not a sign of distance or discord between her parents. It was a testament to their mutual respect and understanding. Still, the move left many questions unanswered. What was life like for Philip at Wood Farm? How did the Queen feel about his absence? And what does this decision reveal about the complexities of their extraordinary partnership? As we'll see, the answers to these questions uncover a side of their relationship that few have ever seen. This expanded section adds more depth and intrigue, exploring both the emotional and practical reasons behind Philip's decision while setting up curiosity for the next sections. It emphasizes the humanity of the royal couple and keeps the viewer engaged with questions and transitions. Princess Anne, often regarded as the most practical and straightforward member of the royal family, has never been one to shy away from speaking her mind. Known for her no-nonsense attitude and steadfast loyalty to the crown, she has always been a voice of reason and insight when it comes to understanding the inner workings of the royal household. Recently, Anne offered a rare glimpse into the personal life of her father, Prince Philip, and his surprising decision to live apart from the Queen in his later years. In her candid remarks, Anne painted a vivid picture of her father as a man who valued his independence above all else. She described him as someone who thrived on activity, purpose, and the ability to chart his own course. Philip was never content to simply sit still or fade into the background, and he had little patience for the rigid routines and formalities that defined royal life. Retirement, and explained, was not just a necessity for her father due to his advancing age. It was an opportunity for him to embrace a kind of freedom he had rarely known. Anne's words revealed a deeply personal side of Prince Philip that few outside the family ever had the chance to see. Beneath the public image of a stoic consort and dutiful royal was a man who had always been determined to live life on his own terms. He was a naval officer at heart, a man of action and pragmatism, who often found the constraints of royal protocol stifling. Moving to Wood Farm allowed him to reconnect with the simpler pleasures of life: reading, painting, spending time outdoors, and enjoying the company of close friends without the constant glare of public scrutiny. But Anne was quick to dispel any notion that her father's decision to live apart from the Queen was a sign of discord or unhappiness. On the contrary, she described it as a reflection of the deep understanding and respect that defined her parents' relationship. Philip's independence was something the Queen had always admired, and his choice to step back was made with her full support. It was, in many ways, a testament to the unique bond they shared, a partnership built on trust, mutual respect, and the recognition of each other's individuality. For Anne, her father's decision was not only understandable, but admirable. It was a reminder that even within the constraints of royal life, Philip had managed to carve out a space where he could be true to himself. In her words, he was a man of his own making, someone who never let his royal title define him entirely. As Anne spoke about her father's later years, it became clear just how much of an impact his independent spirit had on her own life. Like Philip, Anne has always been fiercely independent, unafraid to forge her own path and and challenge expectations. Her reflections on her father's decision offered not just a window into his character, but also a deeper understanding of the values that have shaped the royal family across generations. Through Anne's candid insights, we see a Prince Philip who was more than just the Queen's consort. He was a man of principle, determination, and individuality. And while his decision to step away from royal life may have surprised the public, for those who truly knew him, it was simply another example of his unwavering commitment to living authentically. This expanded section delves deeper into Princess Anne's perspective, highlighting her admiration for her father's independence and the personal values that defined him. It also draws a connection between Philip's character and Anne's own personality, enriching the narrative with emotional depth and context. Prince Philip was a man of action, a dynamic and restless soul who never fully embraced the confines of royal life. From the very beginning of his time as the Duke of Edinburgh, it was clear that he was not one to conform to expectations. Known for his sharp wit, sometimes controversial humor, and unyielding candor, Philip brought a refreshing yet challenging energy to the royal household. His adventurous spirit, love of the outdoors, and insatiable curiosity often put him at odds with the rigid protocols and ceremonial traditions that came with his role. For much of his life, Philip found solace in pursuits that allowed him to break free from the constraints of palace life. He was an avid sailor, a skilled pilot, and a passionate conservationist who championed causes that were ahead of their time. Whether navigating the open seas, designing innovative projects, or spearheading the Duke of Edinburgh's award program for young people, Philip thrived when he was able to pursue his interests and make a tangible impact on the world. But as the years went on and his official duties began to wane, the demands of royal life became increasingly stifling. Living at Buckingham Palace or Windsor Castle meant constant scrutiny, not just from the public but also from the tightly controlled environment of the royal household. For a man as independent and self-reliant as Philip, this was a challenge he could no longer ignore. When he moved to Wood Farm in 2017, it was more than just a retirement from royal duties. It was a return to the simplicity and freedom he had always craved. Wood Farm, nestled in the quiet countryside of the Sandringham estate, provided a stark contrast to the grandeur and formality of palace life. There, Philip could live on his own terms, far removed from the pomp and ceremony that had defined so much of his existence. At Wood Farm, Philip spent his days indulging in the pursuits he loved most. He painted watercolors, read voraciously, and explored the surrounding countryside. He enjoyed the company of close friends and staff who knew him not as the Duke of Edinburgh, but simply as Philip, a man who valued authenticity and connection. The small, unassuming cottage became a haven where he could reflect on his life, free from the pressures of public appearances and royal protocol. But Philip's decision to live at Wood Farm wasn't just about his personality or his desire for independence. There were deeper, more personal reasons behind the move, reasons that his children, especially Princess Anne, understood well. After decades of unwavering service to the crown and to his wife, Philip had earned the right to step back and focus on himself. It was a decision rooted in practicality, self-awareness, and perhaps even a sense of closure. For Philip, Wood Farm was not an escape from his responsibilities, but a place where he could reconnect with the man he had always been beneath the royal title. It was a space where he could find peace, reflect on his legacy, and enjoy the quiet moments of life that had so often eluded him. His restless spirit, which had driven him to accomplish so much during his lifetime, finally found solace in the simplicity of the countryside. Through his move to Wood Farm, Prince Philip demonstrated that even in the twilight of life, it is possible to carve out a space for authenticity and freedom. His restless spirit, far from being a flaw, was a defining characteristic that shaped his extraordinary journey, a journey that, even in its final chapters, remained uniquely his own. This expanded section delves deeper into Philip's personality, his lifelong struggle with royal constraints, and the deeper emotional and practical reasons behind his move. It highlights his individuality, his passions, and his quest for authenticity, painting a fuller picture of the man behind the royal title. Queen Elizabeth II, a monarch whose life was shaped by an unwavering sense of duty and tradition, understood better than most the sacrifices that came with their roles. From the moment she ascended the throne in 1952, her life became one of relentless responsibility, where personal freedom often took a back seat to the demands of the crown. Yet, even within the constraints of royal life, Elizabeth was not just a queen. She was a wife, deeply committed to her partner, Prince Philip. When Philip made the decision to retire and move to Wood Farm, it was a choice that could have raised eyebrows or sparked speculation about the state of their marriage. But for the Queen, it was not a cause for concern. On the contrary, she understood his need for space and independence better than anyone. After all, Philip had spent decades walking 2 steps behind her, supporting her as consort while carving out his own identity in a world that often demanded he play a secondary role. His decision to step back and embrace a quieter life was not a rejection of their bond, but a reflection of his own individuality, a quality the Queen had always admired in him. Despite the physical distance between Buckingham Palace and Wood Farm, the connection between Elizabeth and Philip remained as strong as ever. Their relationship, built on a foundation of mutual respect and deep affection, had weathered countless challenges over their 73 years of marriage. Living apart in their later years was not a sign of discord, but rather a practical arrangement that allowed each of them to live in a way that suited their needs and personalities. For the Queen, it meant continuing her tireless work as monarch without the added concern of Philip feeling stifled by the constant scrutiny of palace life. For Philip, it meant enjoying the freedom and simplicity he had long craved. Their children, particularly Princess Anne, have often spoken out in defense of this unconventional arrangement. And, known for her candid and pragmatic nature, has emphasized that the decision was a loving and thoughtful one. It reflected the unique dynamic of their parents' relationship, a partnership where both individuals respected and supported each other's choices, even when those choices defied traditional expectations. The Queen's perspective on Philip's move to Wood Farm also highlights her remarkable ability to balance her personal and public lives. As monarch, she had always prioritized her duty to the nation, but as a wife, she recognized the importance of allowing Philip the freedom to be himself. It was a delicate balancing act, one that required immense understanding and trust. In many ways, their arrangement was a testament to the enduring strength of their marriage. While their physical proximity may have changed, the emotional bond between them remained unshaken. They continued to speak regularly, and Philip would often return to Windsor or Buckingham Palace to spend time with the Queen. These moments of reunion were cherished, not because they were rare, but because they reflected the deep love and companionship that had defined their relationship for decades. For the Queen, allowing Philip to live at Wood Farm was an act of love, one that demonstrated her respect for his wishes and her understanding of his character. It was a reminder that even in the most traditional of institutions, relationships can evolve in ways that honor both individuality and partnership. Their arrangement, far from being a sign of distance, was a reflection of their shared wisdom and maturity. It showed that even in the twilight of their lives, they remained deeply connected, not just as monarch and consort, but as 2 people who truly understood and cherished one another. Their story is not one of separation, but of profound respect, a love that adapted to the realities of their extraordinary lives while remaining steadfast at its core. This expanded section delves into the Queen's perspective with greater emotional depth, exploring her understanding of Philip's needs and the unique nature of their relationship. It emphasizes their enduring bond, the practicality of their arrangement, and the love and respect that define their marriage. King Charles, Princess Anne, and Prince Andrew have all publicly reflected on their parents' unique living arrangement in their later years, offering a rare glimpse into the dynamics of the royal family. Far from seeing it as unusual or problematic, they have consistently described it as a mutual decision, one that perfectly encapsulated both their father's independent spirit and their mother's steadfast commitment to her role as monarch. For King Charles, who has often spoken about the complexities of royal life, his parents' decision to live apart in their final years was a practical and deeply personal choice. He admired his father's determination to embrace retirement on his own terms, free from the constraints of royal duties, and he respected his mother's ability to balance her responsibilities as queen with her role as a supportive wife. To Charles, this arrangement reflected the profound respect and understanding that had always defined their marriage. It was, in his words, a demonstration of their ability to adapt to the ever-changing demands of royal life while staying true to themselves. Princess, and ever the pragmatic member of the family, has been the most vocal in defending her parents' decision. Known for her straightforward and no-nonsense approach, and has emphasized that the arrangement was not only logical, but also deeply thoughtful. She has described her father as a man who thrived on independence and activity, and her mother as someone who understood and supported his need for space. For Anne, this decision was not a sign of distance or discord, but a reflection of the deep bond her parents shared. A bond that allowed them to make choices that worked best for their individual needs while maintaining their unity as a couple. Prince Andrew, too, has spoken about his parents' arrangement with admiration. He has highlighted the importance of allowing individuals, even those in the most public of roles, to live life in a way that brings them peace and fulfillment. Andrew has described his father's move to Wood Farm as a natural step for a man who had dedicated so much of his life to service and who deserved to spend his later years on his own terms. He has also praised the Queen's unwavering support for Philip's decision, noting that it was a testament to the strength and understanding that underpinned their marriage. To the royal children, this arrangement was far from unusual. In their eyes, it was a practical and loving choice that reflected their parents' ability to adapt to the unique challenges of royal life. It showcased their mutual respect and their willingness to prioritize each other's well-being, even if it meant defying traditional expectations. The children have often pointed out that their parents' relationship was built on a foundation of trust, independence, and shared purpose, qualities that allowed them to navigate even the most unconventional of arrangements with grace and dignity. Yet, despite the family's united front, rumors and controversies continued to swirl in the media. Critics speculated about the state of the Queen and Philip's marriage, questioning whether the physical distance between them indicated deeper issues. Tabloids fueled these narratives, painting a picture of estrangement that was far removed from reality. The royal children, however, have consistently dismissed these rumors, defending their parents' decision as one rooted in love and practicality. They have emphasized that the arrangement was not a reflection of any marital troubles, but a recognition of their individual needs and personalities. For the family, this decision was a testament to their parents' strength and adaptability, a reminder that even in the most traditional of institutions, relationships can evolve in ways that honor both individuality and partnership. In many ways, the children's defense of their parents' arrangement offers a deeper understanding of the royal family's humanity. It highlights the challenges of balancing public duty with personal fulfillment and underscores the importance of making choices that prioritize well-being and happiness. For Charles, Anne, and Andrew, their parents' decision was not just a practical arrangement. It was a powerful example of how love and respect can endure, even in the face of the unique pressures of royal life. This expanded section delves deeper into the perspectives of the Queen and Prince Philip's children, emphasizing their admiration for their parents' decision and their defense against public misconceptions. It highlights the family's unity and the enduring strength of the Queen and Philip's relationship. Prince Philip's final years at Wood Farm were a time of reflection, solitude, and contentment. Nestled in the serene countryside of the Sandringham estate, he embraced the simplicity of life away from the spotlight, spending his days painting, reading, and enjoying the natural beauty that surrounded him. For a man who had spent decades in the public eye, this retreat was not just a retirement, but a well-earned respite, a chance to live on his own terms, far removed from the pomp and ceremony of royal life. However, the arrival of the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020 brought an unexpected change to this arrangement. As the world went into lockdown, Prince Philip and Queen Elizabeth II reunited at Windsor Castle, where they isolated together for safety. This period, though born of necessity, became a profoundly meaningful chapter in their lives. For the first time in years, the couple was able to spend extended time together without the demands of royal duties or public appearances. Their children have described these months at Windsor as a gift, a rare opportunity for their parents to reconnect in the quiet intimacy of shared routines. Without the pressures of their usual schedules, the Queen and Philip were able to enjoy the simple pleasures of each other's company, reminiscing about the life they had built together and reflecting on the challenges they had overcome. It was a time of deep connection, a reminder of the enduring love and respect that had defined their relationship for over 7 decades. For Princess Anne, these moments underscored the unique bond her parents shared. She has often spoken about how their time apart in previous years was never a sign of distance, but rather a reflection of their mutual understanding and respect for one another's individuality. The pandemic brought them back together, not out of obligation, but out of necessity, and it reaffirmed the strength of their partnership, and has described this period as a poignant reminder of the balance her parents had always struck between their personal lives and their public roles. A balance that allowed them to support one another while remaining true to themselves. Prince Philip's passing in April 2021 marked the end of an extraordinary life, but his legacy continues to resonate, not only within the royal family, but also in the hearts of those who admired him. His dedication to service, his pioneering initiatives like the Duke of Edinburgh's award, and his unwavering support for the Queen have left an indelible mark on the monarchy and beyond. For his family, however, his legacy is even more personal. He was a husband, father, and grandfather who valued authenticity, independence, and resilience, qualities that he instilled in those closest to him. In the months following his death, the royal family has spoken openly about the profound impact Philip had on their lives. King Charles has reflected on his father's unwavering sense of duty and his ability to adapt to the challenges of a constantly changing world. Princess Anne has praised his practicality and sharp wit, qualities that she herself embodies. Even Prince Andrew, often a more private figure in public discourse, has shared heartfelt memories of his father's wisdom and guidance. The Queen, in her own quiet way, has honored Philip's memory through her continued dedication to her role. In her speeches and public appearances, she has often alluded to the strength and support he provided throughout their marriage. Her words serve as a testament to the profound partnership they shared, a partnership built on mutual respect, shared purpose, and an unshakable bond. As the world reflects on Prince Philip's life and legacy, it is clear that his influence extends far beyond his role as consort. He was a man of remarkable character and vision, someone who embraced change while remaining steadfast in his values. His final years at Wood Farm, and the time he spent with the Queen during the pandemic, serve as a powerful reminder of the enduring love and understanding that defined their relationship. In the end, Prince Philip's legacy is not just one of service and duty, but also of humanity. His life was a testament to the importance of embracing individuality, cherishing personal connections, and finding meaning in both the grand and the ordinary moments. For the royal family, and for all who knew his story, his memory will continue to inspire for generations to come. This expanded section delves deeper into Prince Philip's final years, highlighting the significance of his time at Wood Farm, his reconnection with the Queen during the pandemic, and the legacy he left behind. It emphasizes the personal and public impact of his life, offering a thoughtful reflection on his enduring influence. Princess Anne's candid reflections have offered us a rare and intimate glimpse into the personal lives of Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip, a couple whose relationship was as complex as it was enduring. Her words strip away the mystique often associated with royal life, revealing two individuals who, despite their immense responsibilities and public roles, navigated their marriage with understanding, compromise, and mutual respect. Their unconventional arrangement, living apart during Prince Philip's retirement, challenges the traditional image of royal life and redefines what it means to be a modern monarch. It demonstrates that even within an institution steeped in centuries of tradition, there is room for individuality, adaptability, and progressive thinking. Their story is one of balance, between duty and personal freedom, between tradition and change, and between the public and private selves. But their arrangement also raises important questions about the pressures and sacrifices inherent in such a high-profile marriage? Was their decision to live apart a testament to their deep understanding of one another? Or was it a reflection of the immense strain that royal life places on even the strongest relationships? Perhaps it was both a nuanced and deeply human response to the unique challenges they faced as individuals and as a couple. Ultimately, their story invites us to reconsider our perceptions of the monarchy. It reminds us that behind the crowns and titles are real people, navigating the complexities of life, love, and duty just like anyone else. Their ability to adapt, to prioritize one another's happiness, and to maintain a strong bond despite the extraordinary circumstances of their lives is a testament to the enduring power of respect and love. So, what do you think? Does their story reveal a new, progressive side of the royal family? One that values individuality and modernity? Or does it hint at the immense pressures that come with life behind palace walls? Pressures that even a marriage as strong as theirs could not entirely escape? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Share your perspective in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more insights, stories, and secrets about the royal family. Their lives may seem worlds apart from our own, but as this story shows, their experiences often reflect the universal struggles and triumphs of the human condition. This expanded conclusion adds depth by reflecting on the broader implications of Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip's story, while inviting readers to engage with the topic and share their own perspectives. It ties together themes of tradition, modernity, and the humanity behind royal life, leaving the audience with thought-provoking questions.